Today I'm doing a braised pork belly sandwich. It's an oriental take on an English hot roast. It's going to be on a fluffy white bun, which we call bao. Inside there'll be slices of pork belly with a carrot and apple salad, topped with pork crackling. If any of those elements go wrong, then I don't have a dish. It's really important I impress today because I don't want to go home. As simple as that.
Angela, she loves to cook, she loves to eat, it's obvious. John, she's a talent. We know she cooks wonderful, gutsy, earthy food. We know she delivers great flavour, but her presentation's always been an issue.
Today I'm cooking spiced pineapple with a spicy caramel sauce, lime sorbet and a coconut and lime leaf foam. I'm doing a dessert, so it could either be brilliant or it could be a bit of a disaster.
It's only about 10 minutes to go. They better be thinking about plating up.
Well, my sorbet froze in the blast chiller and it's not meant to happen. I have to hope now that it will unfreeze in time so that I can put it into the sorbet maker. I kind of wanted a no drama round.
Only 4 of these amateurs will make it through to the final week. Everything now depends on just one dish.
Ping, look at that. Braised pork belly sandwich. Do you know what? That's one of those descriptions where you really do not know what you're going to get apart from pork belly. If she's doing pork, how's she going to make sure it's beautifully tender in an hour and 15 minutes? Ping, you make me smile. You have promised us a braised pork belly sandwich.
Yep.
There ain't no bread, instead we've got bamboo steamers.
Well, you just have to see what's inside.
Ping's braised pork belly sandwich consists of pork belly topped with pork crackling, a white bao bun, and a cucumber, carrot and apple salad, served with a sweet and sticky soy sauce.
Oh. It better taste as good as it looks.
I hope so.
Fabulous.
So, salad on, pork on, sauce on, and off you go.
The flavour on that pork, the saltiness on it is just superb. I love the contrast of the sweet, sticky pork with the crisp acidity of those lovely vegetables. I'd like a little more acidity.
Okay.
But I tell you what, textures and flavours that are just lovely, and presentation that is so eye-catching. Ping, you are clever.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think your pork is delicious. How you've got it so tender in an hour and 15 minutes, I have no idea. And the sauce is wonderful. Gooey and almost molasses thick, but spicy and the flavour of the pork at the same time. It's really, really good. For me, it's the best ever Chinese spare rib sandwich.
Thank you.
I think you should go so I can eat the rest.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ping.
Thank you very much.
I tell you what, she's done it again. There doesn't seem to be any stopping her. John, this is fabulous.
I'm really happy that it works. Really, really happy. To me, it's a brilliant day.
26-year-old Aaron is a private chef in Oxfordshire. He's hoping to impress with a unique barbecue pulled pork bun he discovered whilst working in the Caribbean.
There's some great soulful cooking going on out there, but I'm trying to bring those flavours and bring that vibe across into the food.
Aaron, are you having fun?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, there's rum on the table, so it's rum.
I know, I can smell that. You got a pot of that. What is that?
So this is Azza's rum punch.
Who's Azza?
Me.
Azza?
Yeah.
All right.
That I'll be serving alongside my Johnny cake.
Who?
A Johnny cake's a cross between like a donut and a scone.
Ooh.
The word actually comes from journey cake. Over in Latin America, they make little fried bread rolls they'd take on journeys and then made its way over to the Caribbean, and the name changed from Journey cake to Johnny cake, and that's what I've brought here today. That's going to be stuffed with a barbecue pulled pork neck. They sound very rustic, but they're very hard to get right.
Are they?
They're an art form, almost, so...
And have you mastered this art
Oh,
form?
I've done them about 10 times in the last 2 days. I've had to change the recipe a couple of times, but hopefully I'll do them justice.
Good luck.
Cheers. The dough is slightly dry, so they normally stick a little bit more, but they're still all right. So the island I worked on, to get there, you had to take a boat in the morning. Now, down by the dock, there was a little street stall that just sold Johnny cakes. It's a good way to start your day, soak up anything that might be lingering from the night before.
The pulled pork, he's got down to the barbecue. He's got it beautifully cooking, good barbecue flavour.
The pork neck I'm going to take out now. It's just been under pressure for about an hour and 10 minutes. Should be nice and tender. A bit longer, another 20 minutes.
While his pork neck continues to cook down, Aaron is moving on to assembling all the elements of his Caribbean slaw that will accompany his pork-filled Johnny cake.
This is going on top of the pulled pork. It's going to be inside the Johnny cake. Traditional slaws that I've had out in the Caribbean have been very sweet. We've gone a little bit fresher on this one. So I'm incorporating some green veg, some fennel, some pear, and then a little bit of jalapeno in there as well, just for some spice. I've got to fry the Johnny cakes, which is a big one. So not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, how's the pork?
The pork I need to depressurise and check that now.
OK, so you've not checked the pork yet, no?
I checked it once, it went back on, and now it's the second check.
OK.
Pulled pork. I really hope it's not dry. That's my worst nightmare with pulled pork.
Is it cooked?
Yeah, I'm happy with the cooking of this now.
Johnny cake, with it being deep fried, you want to make sure that it's cooked very nicely on the inside as well as, you know, nice sort of colour on the outside.
Looks very well organised in there.
Yeah.
But more importantly, is the punch nice and cold?
Cold, and it's definitely got a punch of rum. It's a rum punch, not a rum cuddle, so we'll be getting a big...
Rum uppercut is what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Of all the things on this menu, I think it sounds the most appealing and alluring and maybe more the most sort of street food or pop-up. There's a lot of kind of pleasing ingredients in there, and not least the rum punch.
Aaron, this is looking so good.
Yes, please, service.
That looked very controlled, great planning, fab-looking dishes. Can't wait to try them.
Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed that. I thought it was full of flavour, loved the pork. The Johnny cake was actually really nice as well. It had a really nice colour to it.
I like this level of spice and I like the sweetness. I thought the apple in the slaw was nice and refreshing.
The Johnny cake is really nice. First time I tried it. And very tasty with a nice rum punch. So I like it.
This is definitely a good street food dish. It's really like straightforward, it's simple, but it's got a lot going on. And colourful and bright and easy.
Love the Johnny cake. I'm really enjoying the pork. It's got great barbecue flavour, good sauce, good cooking, beautiful and moist and tender.
The slaw with the pear and the jalapenos through it is just fab.
No! I knew it. It's gone. My sauce is gone.
Mary's sauce reduced down so much it started to burn.
OK. Yeah, I mean, that is unusable.
So what are you going to do now?
I'm going to see what I can salvage from this, see if I can get a bit more chicken stock and try and make some sauce out of what I've got.
And the pig cheeks themselves?
I think they'll be fine. I think they seem fine.
So try and make a sauce in a pan, right?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
You can rescue that, Mary?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, certainly.
I'll trim those off.
She's rescued the pork cheeks. I really hope they haven't picked up any of that bitter burnt flavour.
Lord.
You're right, Mary, you can do this.
Right. How long have we got?
15 minutes left, please.
I am fairly confident, so long as I can get the dish out in the allocated time.
Ooh, flappy, flappy, flap, flap. What's the sauce now? Because it was going to come from the pressure cooker.
Some chicken stock, some Madeira wine, some herbs, some onions and some bacon.
Go, 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 go. Don't run out of time. Guys, you've got to think about your plates. You need to think hard, you need to think fast.
Yeah, really up against it. Plating's the kind of thing at home you never practice.
You've got 90 seconds.
I really pushed. It's to the wire.
Cutting it close.
My station's absolute carnage.
Time's up. Well done.
I just want to lie down.
Got it all on a plate, so happy days.
I don't think I've worked so hard ever, so fingers crossed it pays off.
You ready, Mary?
Yep.
Come and join us.
Hoping to impress again with a crowd-pleasing family favourite, Mary has served braised pork cheeks with sausage meat, black pudding, apple and fennel stuffing balls, crispy crackling, celeriac puree, sautéed rainbow chard, and a Madeira red wine and chicken sauce.
Those pig's cheeks are properly unctuous. Your puree is as smooth as butter. Love the crackling with loads of salt on it as well. Can't stay out of there. I think it's a terrific dish.
I think it's ace.
Thank you.
The sauce is really lovely and rich, and you get the flavour of the Madeira in the background. It's got real body, and these little stuffing balls, delicious. Peppery with the black pudding and a little bit of sweetness of the apple coming through. Your ability to stay calm under pressure, I think, is admirable, and you rescue the sauce. I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Inspired by her previous chai donuts and custard, Mary has made a masala chai panna cotta with rosewater, orange, lime and star anise spiced plums and a rose and pistachio nut brittle.
Your plums could probably be cooked a little bit more. They've still got a bit of a bite on them.
OK.
But your flavours are really good. The syrup that's going into that panna cotta, it's so beautiful with the orange and the rosewater mixed together. I want to get a straw and just slurp the whole lot up. Then on the side, you've got this brittle, which is really nicely made with rose petals. Really good.
Brilliant, thank you so much.
You get a little bit of the spicing from the chai tea, but it's a perfectly set panna cotta. You are showing all the touches of classic cookery which made us fall in love with you last time, just you have now crowned it with really good, smart presentation. Well done, you.
First job, I'm going to start the beer and onion gravy. And I'm going to use a stout for my sauce. Nice, bitter stout. Get that slowly reducing. I'm going to get my onions on. So I'm looking for our chefs to cut them nice and neatly.
Marcus, why did you choose bangers and mash?
It's not only a home-cooked dish, it's a pub dish, it's a restaurant dish. There are lovely little key skills in here Monica and I will be looking for. Get those into there.
I'd hope they walk in here and don't think, you know, oh, bangers and mash, done in 10 minutes. Use the time carefully to cook them beautifully, to make a wonderful sauce to go with it, and the best mashed potato they've ever made.
And that's quite a lot of onions, but when it's an onion gravy, I want onions in my sauce. So, next, I'm going to get my sausages on. Sausages, for me, are all about just great colour all the way over. I don't want one side coloured more than the other. I don't see one side burnt. It's all small little points of detail. I'm just going to sit them in a nice butter paper, and they're just nicely, just gently tick over in there. Onions are caramelising, and now I'm going to flame them with some brandy.
Flambe bangers and mash. You know you're on Pro MasterChef when that happens.
I'm going to put a little splash of balsamic vinegar, a little bit of stock. So the stout is nicely reducing, so I'm now going to counteract the bitterness of it by just incorporating a little bit of honey.
If our chefs don't sweeten the reduced stout or the reduced ale, it's going to be very bitter, yeah?
Yeah. So just adding the stout into there, just a bit at a time, keep reducing that down.
Lots and lots of care and love going into that gravy.
I want them to make a mash. I've got some milk in here, just warming through. I've given them a baked potato. Push it through, don't scrape it through, because it'll just get claggy.
It sounds simple, but we've had bad mash before, especially under pressure. It's got to be smooth, it's got to be seasoned. You want to get some of that butter through it.
We've all had this. You must have had this dish when you were a kid, right?
Yeah, my dad was a potato merchant, as you know, so I think we've probably had potatoes pretty much every day of our lives. Potato puree into the pan. And we'll start adding the milk and the butter into it, so it's nice and rich. And we're ready to plate.
Oh, nice.
Sausages on. A nice big dollop potato puree.
Oh, mate.
And there you have it. Bangers, mash, beer and onion gravy.
That's making bangers and mash about as posh as you can, that is.
I think our chefs are going to be in for a little bit of a surprise with this one.
Monica, you are going to keep a watchful eye from the back room.
Right.
We'll see you back for the tasting.
First in is private chef Dan, whose childhood in Birmingham inspired his love of food.
I'm half Cantonese, quarter English, quarter Irish, so it's a big mix there. I grew up around Chinese food on the weekends, lasagnas, cottage pies in the week. I'd say my food style is a mix of modern European and Asian cuisine, focusing on big flavours and what you can get out of each ingredient. First time in the MasterChef kitchen, nerves will hit me, no doubt. I'm used to walking into new environments, but this is a different ball game, and I'm hoping I just don't crumble.
This skills test was set by Marcus.
Good to meet you, Dan. I'd like you to make for us bangers and mash, serve with a beer and onion gravy. 20 minutes, Dan, off you go. Right, Dan, you got a plan?
I'm kind of putting it together as I go along, so I'm gonna saute off some garlic, some onions for my gravy. I'm gonna get the sausages in, brown them off, get a nice colour, finish them off in the oven. And that'll be for my mash.
Okay.
It's never easy for any chef to walk into a different kitchen. You've got to think on his feet what he's making.
So what type of chef are you, Dan?
I've worked in restaurants most of my life, and then I moved to private chefing about a couple of years ago.
Okay. It's very different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very different. You can focus more on your own style when you're a private chef, but obviously you miss the interaction with other chefs in the kitchen.
Have you cooked this type of dish for the people that you work for?
No one really asks for bangers and mash, if I'm completely honest with you. I know, it's criminal.
I would. Ever you had a private chef, I bet you'd ask for bangers and mash.
Most certainly. At least twice a month.
Oh, sausages are bursty. That's a shame.
I'm just going to finish them off in the oven.
You've got 10 minutes left.
So tell me about the sauce. How are you going to make that?
I've just sweated down some onions and some garlic. I've added a couple of bay leaves for some flavour. I'm going to add the beer. Honestly, I'm doing this as I go along.
It would have been good to at least see him reduce that beer down before he put the stock in. I don't think he's going to have the depth of flavour.
Are you happy with everything you've done so far?
To an extent, it's the most simple dish and it just caught me completely off guard.
What do you just put into that sauce? Some honey?
Some honey, yeah. Why? I want some sweetness through it. It's quite bitter at the moment because you've got the ale and everything.
Oh, he's passed the onions up. Oh, I like the onions in the gravy.
We've got just 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
All right. You're going to have to get it on a plate.
Now, you got a plan of how you're going to address this?
No, I haven't, but I assume there's only so far you can go with bangers and mash.
Yeah, it's not very thick. It's not like a gravy. And it's also, he's passed all the body out with the onions. Oh, dear.
All done?
Yes.
All right, Dan?
Very well, thank you, Chef.
Sounded easier than it was, huh?
Dan, you could have caramelised the sausages a little bit better, which is unfortunate because it's sort of burst one of the sausages open. Pompure, it's nice, it's smooth. Onion gravy, leave the onions in. But you do have a nice flavour of beer in there, and by counteracting the bitterness of the ale with the honey, you've got a lovely balance. Not bad at all.
From what I could see, there is a chef here. You showed great knife skills. You're very tidy and methodical in what you're doing here. Don't overthink it.
Interestingly, Dan, you haven't actually got off to a bad start. And actually, it looks like you know what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks, chefs. I was expecting like classical French, stuff like that, and you get hit with sausage and mash. And because it's so simple, your mind starts running. You want to elevate it a bit more, and I just didn't in the end.